Hey guys, so this is a episode 6 review on The Legend of Korra. Now, this episode, I don't know why, but it felt shorter than all the other episodes. And I know a lot of things happened in it, you know what happened, but I know, every episode has the same amount of length. But I don't know, this one, it's not that I didn't like it. I mean, it was good, but not as good as all the others. But, let's get started. So it starts off Korra, Mako, and Bolin. They're training in the gym for the finals, like the championship, against the White Falls Wolf Bats. And I noticed that they were practicing on pictures of Tahno. And I found that funny. And then, Korra saying, "Oh, I know we're the underdogs, but we have a good feeling." And then I like how Bolin made fun of that funny announcer that's always wearing pink. I like that guy; he's funny. And then they're interrupted by this Amon message on the radio. He says, "If the council doesn't shut down pro bending, there's gonna be consequences." I'm like, ooh, consequences. So, I recommend they just shut it down, but, they just had to go on and just bust through the door and say, "Look, you can't shut it down, it's the finals." And then Tenzin's like, "Well, no, we have to do it." And Korra looks to Tarlok, and Tarlok finally agrees with Tenzin. I'm like, really? The one thing, all the things you could have agreed with him, you agreed on this. But, and then for some reason, this was pretty surprising to me even. Chief Beifong comes in and she's like, "Look, I also agree with Korra that we should keep it open." She says, "Oh, we could protect it." And, then they're like, "Okay, yeah." And then it shows like this warehouse, that, reminded me a lot of one of Hiroshi Sato's warehouses. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's pretty suspicious to me. I don't know if it's suspicious to you, but it's suspicious to me. Unless, all the warehouses look the same or something, but whatever. So then one of his equalists are like, "Bro, they're not shutting it down, man." I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do now? And so he's like, "Oh, it's all going according to plan." And I'm like, well, that's kind of creepy. So they skip to the next scene. It's in the championship. Everybody's going nuts. And if you noticed, in the stands, it showed for 3 seconds. It showed these 3 kids who were dressed up like Mako, Bolin, and Korra. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna be for Halloween, but and then Sami blows a kiss to Mako. I'm like, really, you're gonna go down? You're gonna do this? But it's that I don't know why, but their relationship annoys me. It bothers me with a passion. It just makes me want to vomit or something. And then they start the match, but before they show the Wolf Bats entrance, and oh my god, it was so flamboyant. I mean, with the masks and the capes and the fireworks, I'm like, oh my god, really? And then they start the match, and they started off pretty fair. I mean, these guys are really good with their acrobatics and all that. But there was this part where Bolin, he does this really awesome move and bounce an earthbending disc off the ropes, and it hits the guy in the back. Oh, that part was pretty awesome. I give him the MVP award for that. But then they start cheating freaking every move they do. First of all, Tahno, he does an illegal hosing move, unnecessary roughness. Then he ices the floor. Then, the firebender throws fire at Mako's head, which you're not supposed to do. I downloaded the pro bending rulebook onto my computer. You can do that. The link is in the description. Nick.com, and if you go to Republic City, it shows that you download it, and I looked at the rules. They broke like 5 or 6 rules, honestly, they did. And then they broke another rule where the earthbender for the wolf bats, he crushed up a disc, and then Tahno put it in the water, so when he shot the water, the rocks were in it. And then it showed in slow motion the water hitting Korra's face and then the rocks hitting Korra's face. I'm like, oh my god, are you blind or something? And then, oh my god, I totally forgot to mention, Tenzin, I think that's how it is, Tenzin and, Lin, they were a couple. And now we know that, Pema stole Tenzin from Lin, and I didn't even think it was possible to steal anything from Lin, but, But back to the match, I'm sorry. I feel really stupid right now, but I'm sorry. But then, the Wolfbats, they win the first round by cheating, but then the second round is a tie, so they do a tiebreaker. The Fire Fairs win, and, they choose water, so it's Korra versus Tahno. And then Korra just flat out owned Tahno in that little match there. But then they end up winning because they cheat, the Wolfbats. And then Amon shows up, and if you notice, of course you have to notice, but after they win and Tahno asks, he's like, oh, does anybody else want a piece of me? It shows like a couple of people in the stands are putting on these masks, and then they're taking these gloves out of their popcorn. I'm like, oh, whoa, there's prizes and popcorn now? But no, it's gloves that have electricity in them, so like it's kind of like being an equalist in a glove. That's what Amon means. He's like, look, now everybody could be an equalist with these gloves. But honestly, when he was making his little speech, I didn't disagree with him. He was 100% right. People worship pro benders like they're heroes, but they're not. And then he's like, you worship these guys, they cheated their way into the finals. But, yeah, I agreed. And then he takes away Tahno's bending. He takes Tahno's bending in front of everybody, and he literally made an example out of him. And while that's happening, Korra and Mako and Bolin, they're tied up on the bottom of the ring because they were electrocuted, and all of Lin's men are out and dead, probably because they were electrocuted without anybody noticing, and I didn't understand. And then the funny announcer, he's in the booth, and this one of the guys with the gloves, he's like, oh no, there's this guy, he's in the booth with me, and I think he's gonna electrocute me, and I'm currently wetting my pants. It's funny. But then Korra follows, I'm sorry if you could hear my dog, I'm sorry, but Korra follows Amon into his ship. Well, I mean, like on the roof, she gets into a little fight with Equalist, G-Blocker, and then Lin with her Spider-Man moves. She goes up into the blimp, but she's super close, and then she sees that Korra's about to fall. She saves her, and then they're in the arena. Korra gets a hug from Mako. I'm like, wait, what? Did Korra? What? Where's Asami? I mean, honestly, that was pretty suspicious. Where's Asami? She's not there. They didn't show her getting, you know, attacked or anything. So that's super suspicious, like really, really suspicious to me. But and I just finished seeing episode 7. Episode 7 will be up on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. But honestly, that's how it ended. It felt short to me, but I don't know why. But yeah, that's the episode, and on a scale from 1 to 5, I give it a 3.5. I know that's pretty low, but a 3.5 for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.